Hello and welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're getting a chance to take a look at the brand new 2023 Giant Defy Advanced Pro 2 Di2. And what that means is this bike has the brand new Shimano 105 12-speed Di2 drivetrain, carbon wheels, and a relatively compelling price for this type of bicycle. So we're going to get into those features and designs, and then of course we'll find out exactly what it weighs. So starting off with the Giant Defy, this bike happens to be in Giant's lineup of endurance road bikes. Now Giant has a few different models of bikes, their Propel as well as their TCR, with the Propel being an aerodynamic road bike and the TCR being a performance lightweight climbing bike. And this Giant Defy comes in as a bike that would compare against endurance bikes like the Trek Domani or the Cannondale Synapse. And some of what makes these Giants really compelling is that by comparison, they tend to be affordable as well as more lightweight compared to those two other bikes, while still offering great comfort and ability for those longer rides. And this Giant Defy is of course no exception. It's using Giant's advanced grade carbon, which is essentially their lightweight carbon layup. Uses things like this divorced top tube and seat tube junction, which allows the back end to have a little more flex, and then nice pencil stays down to this through axle rear end, press fit bottom bracket in the center, and goes up to their overdrive steer tube. So that overdrive steer tube is a tapered head tube to give a little extra stiffness and control to the front end while still running standard 1.125" stems. And then it goes down this carbon fork to a through axle hub. So all that integrates up pretty well. And one of the things I really like about it is while the cable routing is not quite as fancy as some of the other bikes out there, I do like just how simple everything goes together and how clean the bike looks. Now this being their advanced Pro 2 Di2, the Pro 2 Di2 means it's got that Shimano 12-speed drivetrain we talked about, but it's also rocking these giant hookless 35mm deep SLR 2 wheels. This is a carbon fiber wheel set, and a bike to have Di2 carbon frame and the carbon fiber wheel set at $4,800 is pretty compelling. But speaking about spec, we've got Giant's aluminum cockpit. It's a nice drop handlebar connected up to Giant's aluminum stem. And then that goes out back to the Fleet SL saddle, which is essentially a truncated nose saddle where the front of the nose is a little bit shorter, allowing for a bit less pressure on your underside, especially on a long ride. And then it's mounted up on this Defy seat post. So what Defy is, as we look, it's going to be a flat section on the back and rounded front. So this seat post is effectively about the size of a 27.2, but with a flat section out back. And that's going to allow a little extra flex in the rear end of the bike. And then you go down to the 12-speed Shimano 105 drivetrain. So this offers 11 to 34 teeth out back, and then up front is a 50-34 compact crankset. And this is a full Shimano 105 drivetrain. I love to see when a manufacturer runs all the 105 parts together. So 105 rear derailleur, cassette, crankset, front derailleur, all robotic shifting via the 12-speed Di2 electronic shift. So it's awesome to see that happen. Just little robotic shifting to be able to go through. And that's all controlled on the handlebar via these shift and brake levers. So the shifting is electronic with the two paddles up and down for the rear, left side for the front, or of course you can set it up with synchro shift, which is where you can automatically have the front derailleur shift based on what you're doing with the left and right shifters. But then those are going to run through hydraulic disc brakes to 2-piston calipers on 160mm rotors. Well, now that we've taken a look at some of the features and designs of this Giant Defy Advanced Pro 2 Di2, it's time we find out what it weighs. And the actual weight of the Giant Defy Advanced Pro 2 Di2 in a size 56 is going to come in and weigh 19.04 pounds.